So one of those topics was the Cincinnati Bengals. They were able to come to an agreement on an extension for Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. They will have their offensive collective back for yet another year. But for our overall thoughts, well, I mean, what are we thinking this means for the Cincinnati Bengals? Are they contending this year? Are they truly a threat to anybody in the AFC, or is this just all smoke and mirrors, or is this again and they're just playing fantasy football over there?
So if you look at the AFC, you look at the AFC North, right? You got the Ravens, you got the Steelers, and you got Ravens, Steelers, Browns. Browns. I don't know. Had a brain fart. Shanti, what? Look what all them teams. Look what all them teams have in common. What does all those teams have in common, Shanti? Those
My
three.
brother in Christ, they have a defense. They all have a defense of some sort that they can lean on. They got guys that can go create turnovers. Um, they have at least a top half of the league unit on the other side of the ball that can get stops.
Correct. Now, I will say the Bengals, on the upper hand, what they have the upper hand on is they do have offense. They have the better offense than all of those other three teams. I.e., until Ravens can find a guy for Lamar Jackson. But I don't see how, heavy forbid injuries happen. What happens when Jamar or T is not 100%? They can't run their routes to their full capability. What we're gonna do then? What kind of depth do you have at receiver? What kind of depth do you what running back? I mean, Chase Brown actually had a decent year. I will give y'all that. Chase Brown did have a decent year, but I mean, I don't think this is the recipe of winning. I think you're looking at another Joe Burrow MVP like season. Because that's what I predicted. If you go back to it, that's what I predicted. I had the Bengals going very far, but I did not know I didn't know the defense was going to be just as bad as our fellow Carolina Panthers. But that's what we got. So cool. It's cool you have a high power offense, but brother, you throwing 4,000 yards. Jamar Chase winning a triple crown. But I think you only gonna get like 6 wins out of the deal, 5 wins. Team that good. I feel like y'all selling yourselves short, man. Y'all. Me personally, I'm not a GM, not a coach, nothing like that. I'm looking at the fan. I'm looking at this as a fan of the NFL, and what we see with teams like that, and a team that really deserves to win. Bengals, y'all really deserve to win. Y'all really do. Y'all went there. Y'all had the worst record one year. Boom, y'all in the Super Bowl the next year. Y'all had an actual decent defense that year. But
And look, I'm gonna say it, man. Joe Burrow has to be the most selfish franchise player in the league to force his team to make this decision because at no point have we seen quarterbacks be able to duck losing weapons. Like losing weapons is a part of the growth and maturation of a quarterback. Typically, the best set of weapons they're typically able to give you is during your first contract. That's usually when you get your best weapons. And you look at Pat Mahomes, that's when he got his best set of weapons. Only Jalen Hurts has gotten a better set of weapons as his career has gone on. And I understand Joe Burrow seeing that over there in Philly and deciding that, hey, I want to keep all of my best weapons with me as well. Um, but here's the thing. Josh Allen's lost weapons. He's still elevated. He lost all of his weapons. He still happened to go win an MVP. So everybody else is capable of losing weapons. Lamar Jackson never even had the weapons. They drafted his weapons. They haven't signed any of the weapons that he went out that he has. I mean, and neither have they for Joe Burrow either. But but the main point is that even when guys weren't superstar level, even when guys weren't performing up to what we thought they should be for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, no matter what, was steady the ship. He's been able to help that team continuously have reach the playoffs and have success. For Joe Burrow, why is it that you feel as if that you're the only quarterback that deserves to keep all of his weapons intact from the time he got here on his first contract to now? Like realistically, you shouldn't have paid T. Higgins. Realistically, you should have probably traded him off, got back some assets for him, or at least got back a player for him at the very least, and tried to build this defense up. And the reason why I say it's selfish is because you're going to throw for 4,500 yards. You're going to throw for probably 40 touchdowns, and you're going to win probably 8 games. You're going to be sitting somewhere outside of the playoffs because your division is a slaughter fest. It's going to take about 10 to 11. It's going to take about 10 wins at minimum to win the the AFC North. So where are you gonna go? What is all this gonna what is it gonna be for at the end of the day? You know what I'm saying? And like you said, like I said, I mean, it's just realistically, when are you gonna start being like your peers and just elevate what's around you? You know what I'm saying? Patrick Mahomes got 3 Super Bowls right now, two of which came off the heels of having a great defense to lean on. Jalen Hurts sitting on one right now. He had a great defense to lean on. Now their GM just so happens to be one of the best GMs in the sport, so they made some things happen. They made some things work, and that's how he got the hits. But nonetheless, team you can't be babysat forever and have a pacifier, which is Jamar Chase Tee Higgins forever. Josh Allen just won his first MVP without Stephon Diggs, who we all know helped elevate him to the status that he's at currently. At some point, be the elite quarterback that we say you are. Otherwise, we're gonna have to start having real conversations about you that we probably have about Justin Herbert here pretty soon. But that's all I got to say about that one.
Yeah, and I hate that. I hate that for Joe Burrow, man, because those guys really deserve to win. They deserve to be back in the Super Bowl. But I don't know how you're gonna be back in the Super Bowl when you don't have a defense. I can't even name you one starter on the defense. I can't name you not one starter. Maybe like Taylor Britt. I know they got Taylor Britt. I know
And
they got
the
Von
best
Bell back.
defensive player, the best defensive player is Trey Henderson, and they want to trade him off.
So I mean, obviously they're banking on the draft. You have to go. I mean, give me your input. You have to go all defense in the draft, right? You have to.
Yeah, but even then, the problem has been that they've gone defense heavy here in the past drafts, and they haven't hit. And that's the other thing too, which is why which is where I can understand Burrow's frustration is that you can't tell me I need to sacrifice what I need on offense if y'all can't even hit on the defensive draft picks. So if anything, just give me my weapons and we'll figure it out some way somehow. Realistically, you're never gonna win that way. Realistically, you probably should be seeking a trade before you seek to get everybody paid. Now, Joe Burrow, one of the greatest homeboys of all time, because he don't went and got his boy paid. Jamar Chase gonna be Jamar Chase got paid. T Higgins got paid. And for T Higgins, I'll say this: that was a very self-aware decision he made because there was more money out there for him. There was wide receiver one money out there for him. I think he recognizes that he's in a very advantageous situation being in Cincinnati. They didn't pay him a whole lot. It's just that they just didn't have money to pay him anything at all. He's in a very advantageous situation. He recognized that and decided, like, hey, to prolong my career and have more sustained success, it's best for me to stay in Cincinnati. And they got the deal done. So I mean, kudos to him. He sacrificed some bread though, and I will say I don't know if I ever agree with sacrificing the bread unless you feel like you're gonna make it back somewhere along the way. But you know, to each their own.
Yeah, I definitely took that LA. I definitely been halfway to LA right now. I mean, if I was T Higgins, but I mean, but either way, Joe Burrow's still gonna get. I mean, Joe Burrow's still gonna get the ball to him. I mean, he's still gonna have a Pro Bowl stats and numbers. I mean, that's just the offense is gonna be there. It's just gonna suck. I think the Bengals defense is gonna be probably worse than what it looked last year. Honestly,
I mean, more than likely. More than likely. That's the unfortunate set of circumstances. But we'll see. But we'll see. But I will say, I mean, the more years we keep going, and the more we don't see Joe Burrow competing for championships and everything and what may have you, conversations are going to start to arise. Like and just my mindset on it is that I'm already seeing that Jalen Hurts started to enter some conversations after this past season. Like he had to start getting thrown in conversations that I wasn't necessarily comfortable with throwing him into, but the results are the results, and eventually the guys that just are not winning will get phased out. Like Herbert, to me, is already getting phased out of certain conversations because he just has not won consistently, and he's laid too many goose eggs in the playoffs to where it's hard for me to continue to fight to put you in certain spots. Joe Burrow, if you continue to miss the playoffs, you continue to be on the outside looking in while the rest of your peers are winning MVPs, winning Super Bowls, winning playoff games. You will be pushed into that conversation of just irrelevance. You'll have all the numbers, you'll have all the stats. You predicted this past season that Joe Burrow would have an MVP like season. It happened, but and I hate to say it's like I'm blaming Joe Burrow for it specifically, but like this offseason right here, this is a direct result of what of whatever whatever you decided, Joe. This is what this offseason this is what the offseason hinges upon what you decided to push your franchise to do. And it is what it is. I mean, kudos to swinging the power like an NBA player. That's kind of only that's the only thing I can give him credit for. I give him credit for being willing to drop his nuts on the table and say, "Hey, look, pay my guys."
Yeah.
I give him credit for that, but that's about it. That's about